Good evening. Good evening, everyone. It's me, Shanita Jones, the Childcare CPA, your Childcare CPA. And today is day 8. If you've been following along, you know that I told you I was going to show you 10 ways you can save 10K in 10 days on your tax return. And today's tip number 8 is one that I especially enjoy. So do me a favor and give me an 8 in the comment box because that's day 8. If you've missed days 1 through 7, don't worry about it because I can share days 1 through 7 with you. I am so excited to share with you day 8 because day 8's tax tip is one that all of us can employ in our businesses to help us save money on our taxes. Yes, yes. So if you're watching this on the page that permits, do feel free to share or tag a child care friend so that we can help one, okay? So that we can help one another out. So I want to talk to you today about the basic fundamental skill of reading. And it is very important that you read a few things in your business if you really want to save money in taxes. A lot of times when we think about saving money in taxes, we think we need some complicated, supernatural event to take place. But oftentimes it's the little things that we do or don't do that have the potential to move the needle the most. And reading, my friends, is one of those things. So you won't believe how many adults, grown-ups, will sign and submit their tax return and their organizers without actually reading them. At Jones Taxes and Financial Services, when we bring new clients on, we teach them how to read their statements. So your tax return is based on your profit and loss statement and your balance sheet. Okay. So if you don't know how to read that, or if you don't read that, or if you don't read it and actually read it for what's there and what's not there, you are potentially leaving thousands of dollars of money on the table. So when we bring clients on, we teach them how to read their statements for what's there, what you see, and also what isn't there. If there's something that is not there that should be there. So while the year comes to a fast end and you begin to finalize all of your documents so that you can get your taxes done, I strongly suggest you read your reports carefully before you submit them for tax preparation. If you notice that something is missing, you can always provide that information to your tax professional so that you can make sure that all of your deductions and expenses are included. But if you don't know that it's missing, you won't even know to tell this person that something is wrong or to ask questions, and you need to read it. Do not rely on the person just because this has been excuse me, just because this has been your person forever, just because this person is great. You are signing this document, and you are signing this document under penalties of perjury of the law. That means you could go to jail, like lock up, metal bracelet jail, if you are reporting something erroneous on your tax return, depending on what it is. And I don't want to see that happen. I don't know about you, but orange is not the new black for me, and I'm not with it. Okay. So, after having professionally prepared tax returns for the past 12 years, I realized that 95% of the time, when the taxpayer leaves something off of their tax return, it's usually something that hurts the tax professional. They're not hurting the IRS, they're not cheating the government, they're cheating themselves. And it usually comes in real slyly, and they say things like, well, it wasn't that much, and I'm not going to worry about it, and let's just go ahead, let's just get it done. I know you're busy, but I also know that you can't afford to rush through this process in this season. And while we're on the topic of reading, it's even more important that you actually read this tax return before you sign it. Okay. Once you sign that tax return, you have signed your name. It doesn't matter who's done this return, you are ultimately responsible. And if something is wrong and there's penalties and interest as a result of an error, these things aren't deductible. What does that mean? That means you're giving free money to the government on top of money that you've already given them that's too much anyway. So it is very expensive to not read your profit and loss statement. It is very expensive to not read your tax return. It's even more expensive if you're paying someone to do these things and then you're not reading these things. So before the season starts and anyone thinks that I'm talking about them, I'm talking about everyone that may even be thinking of bypassing this one key step. Okay. So, in short, one of the easiest ways that you can save money on your taxes in this season is to be sure that you actually read your financial reports. If you find something is missing, ask a question. Look around your centers today. I have one client who shall remain nameless, and she has the most beautiful center. And I tell you, I wish I could actually enroll in her center. And she showed up a couple of years ago to get her taxes done, and everything looked normal. Pretty much everything was in line with the year before. And I said to her, well, what about those beautiful new floors you did? And I love what you did with the place. You redesigned it, and there were nice rugs. And I saw you did, several other things that she did in her business. And I didn't see any increase in expenses. And I knew all of those things cost money. And you know what she said? Oh, that was last year. And I said, no, it wasn't last year. You see, I'm comparing your last year to this year. That's why we like to have a relationship with our clients throughout the year, not just at tax time, because we actually know them. They're people to us, not just another tax form, not just another invoice. So I said to her, something's missing. Do you want to go back and double check? She went back, double checked. Turned out I was right. And she had left off a gang of expenses. By the time it was said and done, her tax bill dropped from, I think it was like 22,500 down to $2,500. Girlfriend was ready to sign her tax return, however it was. She had gave me her profit and loss statement. She had given me everything, and she was all ready to just submit to the fact that she owed more money than she had ever owed in her life, despite the fact she had spent more money on her business than she had ever spent in her life. I'll share this story with you, not to put my client down, but I share this story with you to urge you and encourage you to take a moment. You might want to take a moment and dedicate a moment on your calendar. Dedicate a moment when you submit your stuff for your food program. Also, have a look at your most recent report before you turn. And if you don't wait to the last minute for this tax situation, it'll be that much more likely that you do have time to get it done. So again, my name is Shanita Jones, the Childcare CPA, your Childcare CPA. This is your day 8 tax tip, where we are giving you 10 days with 10 ways to save 10K on your taxes. So if you haven't read or seen the information from days 1 through 7, they're still out here on social, or comment below and let me know, and we'll drop some links for you so that you can see them. If you do believe that you've been paying too much in tax in your business, we are accepting new clients. You may benefit from booking a strategic tax strategy session with us, where we can actually look over your tax return, look over the documents before you submit them, and we can actually give you advice so that you can have the best outcome for your tax situation. And by the way, if you are a recipient of any of the stabilization or ARPA funding, these funds are taxable. Some states have elected to not make them taxable, but at a federal level, generally speaking, all of these funds are taxable. And if you fail to include them, you could end up having a significant underreporting of income. And what that basically means in plain language is big tax trouble. So it's super, super, super important that you are reading your statements and you are reading your tax returns. If you have any trouble with any of this, again, go ahead. The link is above the caption in this. Schedule a tax strategy session with us, and we'll help you work through your situation. See you. Bye-bye.